Welcome everyone to the Pride Pod. Thank you so much for being live with us here. Wednesday, September the 17th, 8:16 p.m. Thank you so much for your support. A little bit of the last minute. I just got back from work, so a little, unfortunately, John it's sidelined. He's a little sick, under the weather. So hopefully he feels better. He'll be back next week. But my name is Luis Pineda. I'll be definitely talking to you today about all things Orlando Pride. I'll be your host. Make sure you drop your comments. We'll read them all. And today we have a couple of topics. First, we're going to be talking about the club ring, about Chorrillo 5-0. I think we got that result correctly, I believe. 5-0 result. It was a clobbering. It was a hat trick by Summer Yates. So that is tremendous. It's the first, I believe, is the second hat trick the Summer has in Pride history. So also Julie Doyle scored her second goal of the tournament as in many games and her third of the year across all competitions. So we'll discuss today everything that happened with Chorrillo. There was really no people there. It was insane how they're able to rent that big of a stadium for literally, I think, the family members of the players. And then we'll talk about a little bit of the news of the UN's women's national team playing against Italy at Inter&Co Stadium. And then we'll also discuss the preview actually against we have a game coming up on Friday against North Carolina Courage, which is a vital 3 points for the Pride. So stay tuned. Drop us your comment, your thumbs up if you're watching later on. Thank you as well. Make sure you drop us your comments. We'll read them on the next live. So we have some comments here. Vamos Pride feels too good to support one of the best women's team in the world. I love to brag about it to the Mexico fans. It says Stream Jesus. We're like the Real Madrid of women's soccer in Mexico. Oh my God, we're so cool. We're celebrities in Mexico, John. I don't think the Pride are celebrities in Mexico, but they didn't play Mexico. They played in Panama, which is not Mexico. It's actually a whole complete different culture. You should know Stream Jesus. So, for sure, we're going to be discussing all of that. So, thank you, Stream Jesus, for commenting. Let's dive in. Let's talk about Chorrillo. You guys knew this game. We kind of poke a little bit of fun on this game, but I mean, it was a game that it was obviously this game was going to be just to play it and score as many goals possible and see what's next for the Pride. So the Pride is a dominant 5-0 victory against Chorrillo FC or Chorrillo FC in the CONCACAF Women's Champions Cup group stage. In the National Stadium of Panama, Estadio Romel Fernandez. This is where the men's national team play. It was the Pride's second win in the tournament, keeping them undefeated with a 2-0-0 record. So 2 wins, 0 draws, and 0 defeats, and moving them to the top of Group A. Obviously, the game was very competitive when it came to the Pride. I felt like they could have scored a couple more goals. Unfortunately, I think they were playing. They were really not being bullies. And I kind of get that, and I knew this was bound to happen, but they were definitely able to score at least a couple more goals. But 5 goals, I think, was the minimum, at least for me, and they did it. I think they did it. It was their first competitive match outside the United States ever. And it featured a very heavily rotated lineup. I love Sarah Shavoshi. I think she played tremendous. I love her edge, her attitude. I think Summer Yates getting this hat trick is massive for what Summer Yates is for this team. Also, Cosette Morche. So I want to give kudos to my friend John because Cosette Morche, he was 110% right. Cosette Morche, she made her debut and she earned a clean sheet. Chorrillo FC winless in this tournament. 0 wins, 3 defeats, and 0 draws. They were outscored 20-0 across 3 matches in the tournament. So let's watch this real quick and let's dissect it. If you're available, drop us your thumbs up and your like. It says, geez, LOL, my bad. Just giving insight of what I've been seeing on my side of town. Okay, great, man. I thought you were Brazilian, Stream Jesus. I didn't think you were Mexican. I thought you were Brazilian. I thought you like Vachi Forchu Tambo. Sorry. Oh, nossa, nossa, assim você me mata. Ai, se eu te pego, pego, pego. I thought you liked that. I thought you liked that. I thought you were Brazilian, bro. Totally thought you were Brazilian, but it's okay. Jesus is universal. That's the greatest thing. So let's dive into Chorrillo. Number one, this is a really great stadium. It's a beautiful stadium, by the way. This is where the Panamanian national team plays. Massive stadium, but it looks dead.
In Panama
Now,
City, Panama.
Obviously, people talk about the low attendance. This was really low. But you gotta give kudos to Chorrillo because they are a league that's evolving. They're a league that they're a team that used to have a men's side, and then that men's side kind of the owners decided to consolidate and liquidate that side, and then they maintain all the assets to go towards women's sports and women's soccer, which is fantastic. It's really unheard of in the region. So kudos to Chorrillo because they were facing technically the best team in the NWSL, the reigning NWSL champ. So based on that alone, they knew what they were getting themselves to. But you have to understand they had some bright spots, and I do want to say, kudos to what these women are doing for Panamanian soccer. I think it's phenomenal.
It is the CONCACAF W Champions Cup
group. The pitch is like natural grass, is gorgeous.
Hey, tonight.
I love the McDonald's. I love the sponsor.
As FC Chorrillo of Panama.
Yeah. Like, it's funny because Orlando has Orlando Health, and then they got like the worst restaurant of all time.
Off we go in the CONCACAF W Champions Cup.
Now, I do want to say kudos to Seb Hines for making Luana the captain. I thought that was an amazing gesture, and I thought that was fantastic. So,
we're in Group A. Orlando Pride from NWSL get us started. Most points accumulated.
So, not even 4 minutes. And then, in the regular season, I want to see Prisca do this more often. The difference is, due to the quality of the Chorrillo players, unfortunately, it's easier for her to do those crosses because of the size difference, number one, but also because, they are really not as skilled as she is.
Get us started.
But I want to see this Prisca Chilufya.
It's accumulated.
And then literally just because of size, and we were talking about size in the last episode, just due to size, Julie Doe with an easy header.
And on the attack here, Orlando score.
It's an easy header, nothing to do, on the money, nothing to do. This is the shot heard. It is the first shot heard around the world, and it's just, from then on, it was just, you could see a complete dominance for the Pride, a size difference, a stamina difference. I also thought it was really cool that they were able to have the ambassador of the United States was there. I saw a picture there of the Pride X, Orlando Pride X, that they had the ambassador there. So I thought that was phenomenal. I thought that was great. Panama definitely rolling the red carpet for the Pride. to play in the Rommel Stadium, which is a very mythical stadium there. Pretty much their best soccer field in the entire nation of Panama. And then also having the ambassador coming in, that is huge.
Oh, there's good shape on it. Ooh, and Lozano punches it away.
Now, this is just easy. Their keeper is like 2 feet tall. She jumps with all her might and punches the ball. For the size difference, the Pride players are able to receive the ball faster, and then with their feet and the ball on the ground, there's no one better than Summer Yates.
It's still not cleared, and it's finished
So
off
it was
for
a
2-0.
golazo right there. I love to see also Luana as a captain, Simone Jackson, Sarah. I love to see also Viv. I thought so. Priska literally got that ball right for Summer, and then Summer, she just like this one, for example, this one right here.
Certainly one of the more experienced players in this Orlando group, particularly.
Third goal, I believe. No, number one. Just look at this.
Hey, Luana
with the corner.
His delivery.
And then literally, just with the body, they're receiving the ball. They let it like go and bounce in the box.
He's fizzed in there.
It's fisted by the keeper. And then literally, she has all this time in the world, all the space in the world.
And on the
get
turtle,
the ball back.
The volley.
And this was
a little
almost
too much
a volley.
On it.
No.
Luana winning it back here. It's on a play.
So in less than 25 minutes, you have the Orlando Pride up 3-0. At that point, I think we all knew that they were going to probably score two or three more goals, and that's what exactly happened. That 3-0 Chorrillo. Now, at that point, I went on Twitter and I was like, hey, it is feasible for the Pride to win 5-0, and it happened. It's completely an accurate assessment, because the way, and you can even tell right there, the difference in leagues, in infrastructure, and how this team, even though it's a smaller team, is coming up in Panama. It's doing really well there, but obviously compared to the level of the NWSL, it's baby steps. There you go.
Ready to come in from Jackson. Puts more air underneath it. And it's going to be a penalty for the holding back of a...
So this right here, it's a straight up, really rookie, frustrating mistake.
Player
Clearly
on the
a
edge
penalty.
Of the
like, she's literally holding Sarah. She's hugging her, and she knows it's a penalty. Now Herrera is the captain of Chorrillo, and then obviously the girls gave Summer the penalty because they wanted her to have the hat trick, which shows how unselfish they are, and they're all a unit.
Number 4 here, they do.
Now, mind you, great job of the goalkeeper for Chorrillo. I thought she was one of the best players in their team. I know that she was scored 5 goals, but she almost caught that penalty. 0, 74th minute.
Towards the edge of the area, but
look at that.
Not enough room, and Orlando looked to send
Look at this run by Simone Charlie.
Up ahead for Charlie to chase here. A beautiful switch of play onto this near side.
So Oyane came in.
Oyani
came in, and she gives this ball, and now you have to understand this. We know the skill Ali Limos has, but I do want to say this is great sportsmanship by the Pride. They know that they're going to win this game, but they know also they have to score. The best way to honor the rival is by scoring as many goals possible. That's how the Germans see it. That's how Argentinians see it. A lot of the top level soccer minded cultures, they see it that way. Kill them with honor, right? And the Pride did this. But what I love about this is she didn't even celebrate the goal. She showed the respect to them, which I thought was really, really awesome for her. and it was a golazo. There was nothing to do. She saw the keeper was too forward. She saw the size differential. She was never gonna reach. She knows if she's gonna hit the volley, it's gonna go in. But she does it even better.
Bundled to the
She does it with the inside of her foot, like the inside of her foot.
edge of the area.
Person she is, the type of player she is, and how respectful they are to respect them, because if you think about this in a really like positive way, this is so powerful because Chorrillo are the best team in Panama for being a really small club with not a lot of resources, and now pretty much switching gears to just women's soccer, but also they represent a country. The Pride are visitors in that country, and yes, they're destroying them 5-0, but just the goal is beautiful, and the way she pays respect to them, it's the closest danger that Chorrillo ever faced to Pride. So.
Up and out for a corner is the difference.
So that was the Chorrillo game, 5-0 result. It was a massive clovering for the Pride. So what's next for the Orlando Pride? So hold on right here. So we've beat them already, September 16th. So the next one is Orlando travels to Mexico, and they're gonna be playing in the Azteca, more than likely, Estadio Azteca, and they're gonna be playing in against Club America, which is one of the biggest, if not the biggest team in Mexico, 110%. And this is gonna be one of the biggest tests. Because Club America is really well regarded in the continent, and they have a really good women's squad as well. And then after facing Club America, they finish the Champions Cup, and they come back on October 15th, and then they face Pachuca. And that will be at home. So, but this is what I believe. This is my opinion. I have a feeling that we're going to have to make a decision here. NWSL or CONCACAF Women's Champions Cup. I want to be, personally, if you ask me, the NWSL is super tough. I don't know, without Banda, being completely honest, we're going to be able to handle 2 tournaments at the same time. Because we're facing such great competition, we're going to have to put our A squad in the next 2 upcoming games to the Champions Cup. If we do great, which I do have a feeling that we have a huge chance to definitely compete and win against America and Pachuca, the Pride are really close to hopefully win this whole entire Champions Cup, which will be amazing because we'll be the best team in the continent. And not only that, but we have really a ticket to the Women's Club World Cup. And Orlando Pride as a brand globally could triplicate or duplicate or multiply their finances, their exposure, more sponsorships. You get to see our culture, our soccer culture, representing on a really huge stage. And I think that's what these women want. And I have a feeling that this is what also the club wants. I think we can definitely win NWSL for sure. Yeah, I mean, I think this team can do it all. But if you ask me, where to put my eggs, essentially, I'll put it on the CONCACAF Champions Cup. That is just my opinion. So, a little bit of an overview of what's next. There's really no comments right now outside of Stream Jesus. So thank you so much to all the 4 people that are watching. Appreciate you. Now we're going to dive in and talk about a little bit of some news. The United States women's national team is set to face Italy in an international friendly match on November the 28th of 2025 at Inter&Co Stadium in Orlando, Florida. This is the first encounter between 2 teams in 15 years. So it's tremendous. And it's going to be right on in our alley. Now we have also Alex Kerr, which is former Pride player, killing it in Italy in Como FC. She's one of the top goal scorers in the team, and they're one of the best strikers in the league right now in Serie A. So this is the first encounter in 15 years. And also it closes out the schedule for the women. And also there will be another match against Italy as well. And it's going to be at Chase Stadium. So we're getting first dibs on November 28th. And then they're playing Italy again on December 1st. Now, the November 28th date, unfortunately, it's Black Friday. So, people do the Black Friday shopping online. What I would recommend is just do your Black Friday shopping online. There's really no need for you to stand 3 a.m. for freaking TV, which is something very funny. It's a unique timing for this. Now, last time the national team, the U.S. women's national team played Italy was in the 2-legged 2011 FIFA Women's World Cup playoff when the United States won 2-0 on aggregate. After that they haven't faced each other, so it's been a long time. So under coach Emma Hayes, which is a former Chelsea coach, that's my team right here. The U.S. women's national team will use these friendlies to build momentum heading into 2026. And they're going to be facing a team that has definitely shown strong form in recent continental competitions. They reached the semis of the Euros, so they're definitely growing competitively. They're not maybe at the level of a Spain, but they're a team that shows a lot of edge right now. So it's fantastic. I'm excited. I think hopefully soon they're going to be announcing for media. There is a lot of buzz happening, especially Inter&Co is one of the favorite venues for the national team, both men's and women's. So it's definitely fantastic. Italy announced it first, actually, and they built some hype. And I'm going to read it in Italiano. It says, after 15 years, torneremo ad affrontare Gili USA. It says, after 15 years, we'll face the USA again. So, due grandi match attendono le nostre azzurre. So 2 great matches await our azzurre. Azzurre, that's how they call the women there, the women's team. So it's tremendous. There's a very huge positive sentiment, and I highly recommend, if you are just a U.S. soccer fan, go to this game, attend to this game. Screw the new TV, bro. You can buy it on Amazon. You can still do your shopping online. There's also Cyber Monday. Bro, go to the game. It's going to be fun. It's going to be food, beverages, soccer, top level soccer, and also you'll be able to support the U.S. women's national team. So it's gonna be great. Sporty Mouse, I already got tickets for Italy match. Fantastic, bro. I'm thinking of going with my daughter. Just as a fan. So we'll see how that goes. Even though I was told, "Hey, man, can you come and cover?" But we'll see. So this is a great news. And now we're going to be talking about what's coming next. And what's coming next, guys, is the North Carolina Courage. And this is a um, very good team. It's a very good team, and we have to definitely we have a chance to we come in a good momentum, but we also have to say that we come in a good momentum facing a really small team that is on the up and up, but it's not quite the caliber of a North Carolina Courage. Now, then again, this is a an opportunity for the Orlando Pride to rekindle their love with the fans, give them a massive win that will catapult them to be in good standings and not worry too much of not qualifying to playoffs, not clinching playoffs. But also, what's coming next after the Pride, after North Carolina, it's a little tough. The schedule that's coming, the Pride are going to be hit with back-to-back competition, and I'm going to show right now that real quick right here. So North Carolina, we're playing North Carolina right here this Friday, in 2 days, in 48 hours. And then after that, the following Friday, we face San Diego. We have to travel um, all the way to San Diego. Now, the cool thing is the distance between San Diego and Distrito Federal, it's really not that far. So then, literally, right after the San Diego game, they're not gonna come back to Orlando. I mean, it'll be pretty stupid if they do. I would just go to Mexico straight through. Like, I'll take a couple days off there and then just stay in Mexico. There's there's no way they're gonna come back. It just seems kind of, But either way, let's say they come back to Orlando, then they have to leave to Mexico because they play on Tuesday. So, and then after that, they have to go on October 3rd. That next Friday, they have to face the Houston Dash in Houston. Um, and the Houston Dash, they have our number recently. They definitely are one of the teams that they enjoy beating us, and they're going to be playing at home. And after that, October 10th, Orlando Pride plays the Thorns, another tough team at home. And then after that, we play Pachuca. So, um, what's coming up next for the Pride? It's certainly a test, and so that this is why I say the Pride has to make a decision, either Champions Cup or NWSL. Now, I do feel, and this is with all due respect, I feel the Pride are probably not going to go for Supporter Shield. That's 110% right. But I think they could still, get in the top 5, top 4, you know? And then if that happens, I think it's a great overall good season for the Pride. Clearly nothing is going to compare to last season. Last season was magical. Last season was a different beast. You can compare. This year, if Orlando is going to a potential CONCACAF Women's Champions Cup final, and then also getting into the playoffs comfortably, I say this is a successful season. Not probably the best, but successful because of the Pride's history. We are not used to be that team, or that team that will be on the top standing on the top of the standings. We've always been the Cinderella of the NWSL. So now roles have kind of switched, right? We're the reigning champs, and everybody wants to beat us. But the next upcoming games that we're going to be facing are going to be are tough, are tougher teams. So we started this massive test of September and October. September and October is going to be two huge months for the Pride. September, we're going to start with North Carolina Courage. And so let's talk about this game real quick. And I'm going to give you a little bit of my overview. I don't know if you have any comments here. No comments just yet. So, look, the Orlando Pride enters this matchup as the NWSL defending champs, right? They are a type of team that has a possession-oriented style under Coach Seb Hines. They have a 4-2-3-1 formation that emphasizes structure build-up from the back, with wingers like Ali Watt and Summer Yates exploiting the flanks. Also, we are known to have a very good defense. After Banda's injury, our attack has dipped to 1.25 goals per game, and we've relied a little bit more on midfield transitions and counterattacks. At home, we've won 13 out of 20 games, scoring 15 goals while conceding only 10. So let's just think about that and let it sit here. North Carolina Courage sits in mid-table, 23 goal score and 25 conceded, averaging 1.15 goals per game. Now, they are the leaders in possession at 58%. Sean Nahas, I think that's their coach. I don't know if they're still their coach. They do a 4-3-3, which is they focus on the typical counter pressing. So it's a high recovery rate within 6 seconds of losing the ball, and then overloading both right and left flanks with fullbacks. So they've allowed a lot of goals. So this is a side that is vulnerable to transitions, which is something that the Pride excels on. Recently, though, the Pride has been a little bit inconsistent when it comes to the finishing, and now without Banda, it's a little bit more noticeable. So the Pride is pragmatic. It's a defense first approach, which counters the Courage possession dominance. Both of them I'll consider to have a little bit of poor finishing at the moment. Now, some of the pundits have said that Orlando Pride is going to win, citing their championship pedigree and home advantage. Cesar Hernandez from ESPN predicts a 2-1 Pride victory. CBS Sports Pardeep Kathri sees Orlando beating North Carolina and winning 2-0. And also the Guardian's writers in the UK predict a 3-1 Orlando City win at home. So just think about it, I just feel that this game is going to be a low scoring game. Low scoring game for sure. So let's see if there's any comments here. Uh, no comments yet. So Sean Nahas got fired. So that's another thing. North Carolina Courage head coach got fired. And then Nathan Thackeray is the one who's acting as the head coach right now. So he led the Courage to 2 NWSL Challenge Cup titles and 2 playoff appearances during his tenure. So just FYI. So right now the Courage is outside playoff contention in 9th place. And right now Thackeray will be the coach probably until the end of the year for the Courage. Seb Hines, he's transformed the Pride into an NWSL benchmark since taking over in 2024. They led them into the Shield and the Championship. Seb's style, I consider it to be very adaptable, possession based with quick counters. For what I've made my study on this, and he's excelled in integrating veterans like Marta, and into the team and be productive. So right now we need to take advantage of. We need to get the best version of Marta. Now you also have La Maga Ovalle, but now you also have a Summer Yates that comes from scoring a hat trick. So this is great for the Pride, and hopefully it continues. Now definitely Orlando can beat this team. Um, so how can Orlando beat this team? Leverage and home advantage. So we're at home. We have people at the wall chanting, supporting, and we also have defensive solidity. And I think defense wins championships. And I think we need to go back to that because when we had defensive solidity, we were able to not only hold out games against really tougher competition, but also win very decisively. So, you know, right now the Pride can hit North Carolina in transition, and they shown to have a really leaky defense. 25 goals conceded. Their backline is vulnerable on the flanks. 48% of the attacks um, originate from the flanks, and they have nowhere to counter. So the Pride has scored 40% of their goals off transitions through the flanks. So this is saying attack through the flanks and defend well. So what that means is you need to have if Orlando is gonna stick with Priska on the right, she better be on her best game against North Carolina. If they decide to go La Maga and then on the left Simone Jackson, they both gotta be in sync because that's where the gaps are gonna be. So another thing defensively, if the back four have a great match, in my opinion, I would like to see Haley McCutcheon and Luana and then do the press high pressing that Orlando Pride does to force turnovers. So just be advised, and also exploiting the set pieces. 25% of our goals this season have come from set pieces. So um, I'm gonna do that's a little bit of my analysis on this game. I'm gonna go ahead and now go and do a let me see here a lineup. There you go. So let's do the lineup right here. There you go. So the best lineup I see, it would be this. Uh, I'm gonna go for like that. We'll do. I'm thinking here. Luana McCutcheon for sure. Marta Yates. No. I mean, I like Yates, but I don't know if they're gonna like we'll do this, like this, and then here. Yep, that. Luana McCutcheon, Abello, Shavoshi, Sams, Emily Sams, and then Oyane. So this would be my lineup. So personally, I have Macron as your number one. A line of four right here, and I'll actually have. Yep, this is great. Yep, this is great. So Macron, Oyane as your right back, Emily Sams and Shavoshi as your center back duo, Carriabello as your left back, two D mids or a 5 or an 8 essentially, which would be Haley McCutcheon and Luana. I will have Luana start. I thought she brought a lot of edge and I thought she was really great. I would love to see Luana coming in and then maybe get a fresh Angelina after Marta. Maybe it's a little tired. You could add Summer Yates and Angelina right there with Haley and give the ball and move the ball a little better also and not be so disruptive in the middle. But against North Carolina, you need to control the flanks. And I like the pressing and the intensity of Luana and Haley. And I think having them both there evenly matched on defense is going to be tremendous. On the left, Simone Jackson, her speed, her youth, the way she carries the ball and dribbles the ball, tremendous. On the right, Lamago Valle, right there below the striker, Marta. And then as your 9, she did tremendous, Ali Watt. Now, what I would do is this, our attacking third always rotates. And this is going to drive people crazy, but this is something tactically they should be doing. We've seen them do it in the last few games, Ovalle and Marta, but there's going to be times that Marta is going to be on Watt's position, and then Watts is going to kind of play back a little bit. Jackson may be going to the other flank, and Ovalle may be going to the left. So that drives defenses insane. So I will put this as my lineup. Again, it's Macron at the sticks. You got Hernandez, Sams, Shavoshi, and Abello, Luana and Haley McCutcheon, Ovalle, Marta, and Jackson, and right up top, Ali Watt. That'll be my lineup for the game against North Carolina Courage, which, before I go, I predict Orlando Pride 2, North Carolina Courage 1. Orlando Pride 2, North Carolina Courage won. 2-1 result, 2-1 W for the Orlando Pride. And again, I wanted to thank you guys for your support. Make sure you're checking us out. We are available on all social media platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, X, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. If you just arrived, go back, watch it again, and definitely thank you for your time and your support. I will definitely see you guys this weekend, hopefully with a W for the Orlando Pride. And also, again, always support the Pride. The Pride are there always. I want to show you also my shades I got. I think I showed it already, but I like to brag. I like to brag, man. I took him. I took him to work today. Huh? You see? Look at that. Look at that right here. Huh? Orlando Pride right there. There you go. There you go. And I say goodbye with this. Thank you so much. And vamos, Pride. Have a good one, guys.